Hi guys, and welcome to today's tutorial. In today's tutorial we're going to focus on different types of crusts. Okay, we're going to look at oceanic and continental crust. Our learning intention is to be able to explain the difference between two types of crusts. So the first thing we're going to look at is the different types of crust that you can have. Okay, and there's two types of crust. Okay, so first crust that you can have is oceanic crust. Oceanic crust. And the second is continental crust. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is the oceanic crust. And as you can see, the oceanic crust is this one here. And the continental crust is the brown one here. Okay, so the oceanic crust, as you can see from both, is much thinner, and the oceanic crust, the average thickness is about 8 kilometers thick, and it ranges from about 3 kilometers to 11 kilometers thick in some places. It's solid, and it's much more dense than the continental crust, so it's much heavier. And the reason why it's heavier is because it's made up, it's formed mainly of basalt rock, and it's much heavy. And basalt rock is much heavier than the other rocks that make up the continental crust, such as granite. One thing to note is that the material in the oceanic crust is sometimes referred to as sema, because it's made out of two basic substances, which is silica and magnesium. The next one is the continental crust. I just realised I forgot the L here. Okay, so it's the continental crust. And as you can see, the continental crust is much thicker than the oceanic crust. The continental crust varies in thickness. It goes from about 45 kilometers to 70 kilometers thick in some parts. It's composed of much younger and lighter rocks, such as granite, and therefore, when the two plates collide, the oceanic crust always subducts beneath the continental crust, because as we said before, the oceanic crust is heavier because made up of rocks, heavier rocks such as basalt, and the continental crust won't subduct when beneath the oceanic crust, even though it is much thicker. One thing to note about the continental crust is that its material is referred to as shale, and this is because it's made out of two basic substances, which is silica and aluminium. Right, so I've just made out a little short notes there for the oceanic crust. I'll do the same for the continental crust now. So there you have it, the short notes there for the continental crust. So I hope that clears up the difference between the oceanic and the continental crust, and you now be able to explain some of the differences between the two of them. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this tutorial, and our learning intention that we had to start was to be able to explain the difference between two types of crust, and we should be able to do that now, having watched the video tutorial. Thanks.